What up, YouTube? It's JSB in St. Patrick with just some manga review. We are on episode 8, and this one is a brand new Shonen Jump series. It's called Drawn to the Flame. Now, we know Weekly Shonen Jump has their history with sports series, Slam Dunk, Kuroko Basket, and Haikyuu. And ever since Haikyuu ended, I feel like, they've been trying to fill that, that sports series. And a lot of series have come and gone: baseball, golf, ping pong, a bunch of other different sports. Now, Drawn to the Flame is basketball. It's a basketball related sport. Now, because of that, I do want to have my hopes up for it. I do want to see this one last because I'm a fan of basketball, and I also like Slam Dunk and Kuroko no Basket. Now, that being said, just because of all the cancellations and axes that there's been, I'm kind of not. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that this one does make it. And this being the first chapter, you gotta forgive me. It's gonna take me a little bit before I recognize the names and remember the names. But our MC, it focuses on him, who he thought he was the prodigy in basketball until he met someone that was a prodigy, and that kind of just took him out of wanting to play again. He has his childhood friend who's a basketball player, and their dream was to go meet each other in the Nationals because she had to move. Now, with that being said, I can already picture that being a final chapter if, this does get the axe. And, because again, I'm hoping that's not the case. So that's already the goal in mind. He's already done because of his last high school game. He ended up having 26 turnovers, which is, he probably should have got benched way before that. And the guy who, the prodigy, who pretty much national player, they end up going to the same school, and the guy, he ends up trying to recruit the MC kind of throughout the chapter, keep recruiting him, whatever, tell him, does he really enjoy basketball, whatever, which he finds out that he does. And then we come to learn that, hey, it wasn't that your passes were bad, it was just that you had no one to catch them, which I feel like, that kind of makes it a bad pass. But it was a good, charming chapter. It was very funny to me. I do like the dynamic between the MC and the prodigy. I was a big fan of Haikyuu. I liked Hinata and Kageyama's relationship with one another. You had Hinata, who could pretty much jump high, and then you had your prodigy and Kageyama, who was a good setter. This one, I'm kind of feeling similar vibes, where you have our MC, who's good at passing, fake outs and all of that stuff. And then you have your guy who's able to catch the passes, dunk, shoot, all of that. And it also, that being said, it was the first chapter, so I'm not sure which way it's going to lean. Slam Dunk is a top 5, top 3 manga of all time, and I do like a little bit of realism when it comes to the sports series. I know you gotta suspend some disbelief for that, but you had your Slam Dunk where it was like, yeah, it was kind of, I would say for the most part, realistic. And then you had Kuroko no Basket, which was like a DBZ sports blue lock type of series. Again, it's not the worst thing, but when you have guys with automatic jumpers and guys can constantly make people fall and all that, it's like, okay, I just want to see a little more realism. So I'm hoping Drawn to the Flame leans a little bit more towards Slam Dunk as opposed to Kuroko no Basket. And hopefully again we see more of the characters, see more basketball players, and I know there are some other basketball series out there, but it's been a while, I think, for Weekly Shonen Jump to have had one. So I'm really hoping that this one catches on, fans like it, and I can see it. We can get a bunch of chapters out of this, and before he finally reaches his goal, as opposed to the 19th, 20th chapter, they fast forward to a final and they're at the Nationals already. But overall, it was a good start to the chapter to me. I really enjoyed it. I hope everyone else enjoyed it. If you read it, please comment below what you thought about the series. I will be definitely talking about this next week. I do know there should be one more new manga coming out, since I think they do come out in threes. We had Roku 2 weeks ago and Drawn to the Flame this past week, so we should be getting one more. That being said, JSB and St. Patrick, I'm out.